we gotta grab a key as usual. The main thing you end up picking up in this game is just keys. So for right here, I ended up going there because I forgot there is a bathtub you have to go to, but that's not the one. And I was like, oh shit, run over here. Just grab that, and we're done with this room for, well, that washroom. We never have to come back in here. This room that we're walking into, we are going to have to come back in here, because that's where the ladder is to go down to shut off the water. So we just end up leaving here now, going back in the first area. It's not it's basically just a lot of running around back and forth. So from each side to each side, at the beginning anyway, just unlocking doors and everything. Once you have all the doors unlocked, you're pretty much on your way out. So for this, you just mash the buttons and they let you go. It doesn't do any health. It doesn't take any damage from you really. You just mash the buttons, and you won't go into critical or anything. So you'll be fine with that. You don't need to push the box over it. And then you just come in this room here, go into the washroom, and this is the bathtub that you have to drain in order to get the control room key. So, you just got to sit here and wait. Of course, one of the little cutscenes you can't skip. You just pick that key and just get out of this room, and we're done with this room completely. This whole pretty much first area, or first part of the place where we're in right now. We don't need to go into the front anymore where we're coming out here. That part's all done. It's more in so far all we got left is just the basement and killing Plant 42. So it's pretty easy from here. Plant 42, like, you'd expect that to be like a harder boss, but it's really not. In this case, I end up going into the fight with going into it at critical, and I still take a couple hits. Unfortunately, it's just the way it went in this run. But for that part anyway, like, he really does no damage. Plant 42 it's so easy, especially if you have the rocket launcher. Like, if you're following this speedrun, you would have picked up the rocket launcher. So it's easy with the rocket launcher. You just hit him a couple times with some fire rounds, and I ended up messing up earlier and accidentally equipped in the flame rounds to fight the Crimson Head zombie when we were putting in the death masks. So usually it's just 3 hits with the flame rounds, but I would have had 3 rounds left over if it wasn't for missing the 1. So, whatever. But that's why we still have just regular grenades, like regular grenade rounds. So, you'll see when it gets there. It's no issue. You can do it with pretty much a little to no health and still get through him, no problem. And unfortunately, that is the thing. You don't want to take any damage, or at least minimize as much damage as you possibly can take during these runs, because if you are in a damaged state, then your character does run slower, and that's the whole point of not running around with a weapon, is to run faster. So it's a little worse when you have taken damage and then you have to run because you are slower, because you're holding yourself and you're damaged. So you want to try and avoid that as much as you can. But in some cases, as like you can see in all the cases here, I tried to avoid it, but it just got me. And right here you will see one thing. Normally you can run right through these sharks and they don't hit you, and right there you got me. And a little funny thing here too is I played this on Xbox One. I probably beat it 50-60 times. Now, I've never been bitten by those sharks when I play it on Xbox, but when you play it on PC and have the graphics turned all the way up and at 60 frames per second, they actually can get you way easier than on like a console running at 30 frames a second and whatever else they're running at. So that's a big factor too, is if you're depending on what platform you are playing the game on, it can alter how enemies behave. So you do want to kind of know what you're doing on what platform, because like for instance right here, like those sharks, they'll never get you on console. Like I've never been bitten by those sharks on console, and then that was honestly the first time I've ever been bitten by one of those sharks in this area. So it's one of those things where things change. And for right here, you just want to follow what I did there. Just turn the things on and close the shutters, and then look at the little board there to figure out what pump you have to turn off. And in that case, it was pump 1. So you just run in here and go to the one on the yellow one there, hit that, and then go to the one across from it, and then hit that, and then now you just close it off and drain the water, and that is it for here. This is another one of the faster. Basically all the puzzles are fast in this game, as long as you know how they're done. You don't really waste any time. They're super easy. Unlike at the original Resident Evil was way more difficult than this. Now all this area here you're seeing, this is all new added stuff and everything from like the original, Resident Evil that came out on PlayStation. So it's way different now, and the puzzles are a lot easier compared to back then. Some of them were just ridiculous, like for instance the one with the light there before we fought the Crimson Head. That puzzle there is, see, that one you only have to hit like 3 switches in that one. In the original on PlayStation, there was I think it was 6 or 8 different paintings you had to hit in a certain order in order to open up that area. And even then, it didn't even open up that area. The painting would fall off the wall, and you would get a crest. So, that's been all changed. You don't use any of those crests anymore. Those crests that you would find to leave the mansion, that has been replaced with that umbrella emblem. You end up using those crests now to unlock the Magnum, which is kind of funny because they're still in the game, but they're used for a completely different thing in a new part of the game. So it's pretty funny. So right there, you just push that that electrical box into the water there and turn it on. Now you can just jump off and run around the shark. I don't like doing that because, especially if you're speedrun, like trying to get record time and you're the best player, chances are if you're the best player, you're not watching this video. But for that, it's just safer. It takes you a couple seconds to just push that in the water and flip the switch and you're done. So I just end up doing it that way. So we end up running through here now. Now we're done with this whole part. We're done there. We got the key that we needed. So we end up just leaving the way that we came in and going up this ladder just around the corner here. So we go up here, and now we're on our way to fight Plant 42. So here you want to try and lead him in. This guy, he will lunge. You just have to, sometimes get him right into it. But he did block the way, and you just push right through him. Hopefully he doesn't lunge at you while you're pressing through. He tried it with me, but I just made it by in time, so that was the one that worked. So that key that we found, we used it here, get rid of it. And we have to quickly run in here and grab the bug spray. So just run in, grab it right here, and that's it for that. Now we're back out of this room, And watch out for these bees in here, because if they do sting you, they can poison you. And it's just, at this part right here, it's horrible. You'd have to run to the front of the front of the residence here to get a blue herb and heal yourself. So just try and stay away from those and get out of there as fast as possible. And then just come here, put that through there, and now they're all dead. You'll have nothing to worry about going back into that room. So we're going to go back in here and grab the key to go and fight Plant 42. So it's just around the corner here. Now, that's a good part now, so we don't have any bugs or anything to worry about. We just grab this here, and now we're off to fight the Plant 42. Gonna go fight a plant, so that's alright. So you just use that key right there, and then come in to do another puzzle to use that book that we picked up at the beginning of coming in here. So you just want to first click on the bookshelf and take this book. Just get out of it, and then place in this one, and then you want to switch the books to that. So you want to take that one and then the fourth one and switch it. And then you want to take the second one with the second last one and swap it, and then the third one with the last one and swap those around, and that is it. So for right here, you're going to want to equip your weapon right away before you go into the room. So we just go in here and quickly run up the stairs. Now you have to be running back and forth because he can spit at you and get you poisoned and, you know, smack you up and do a bunch of damage. So when he opens, you want to look right there and arc it up, and then go over here, look there, and arc it up. If you had a third shot, he would have been dead with one more, but because we missed that one shot earlier on the Crimson Head, we have to use just the regular grenade rounds. Now you want to just kind of run around here and see. I ran down the stairs. You sometimes don't want to run down the stairs because you'll get hit. Sometimes you don't end up getting hit, but you do. And right there, I get hit a couple times. I was real worried. I was like, oh no, I actually might die right here. But, you know, a couple extra shots and he's done. Now, as you can see, we're in danger. Like, we're, you know, pretty bad right here, which you never want to be in unless, like, you have a, well, actually, you never want to be in that, even if you do have a first aid spray. But if you do get into that condition, you're going to want to have a first aid spray on you right away. But there's green herbs on our way out, like back to the mansion. So we will just pick up some green herbs there. As you can see, I pick up the red herb here because I'm like, oh, okay, there's green ones on our way back. So we'll just grab that. And that's it for here. Now we just leave. Well, we're done with this whole area completely now. We're just leaving to get back to the mansion, because we have that key now that we can grab the last couple parts, like the battery and everything, because we are coming to the end of this whole area and gonna move on to the laboratory and pretty much be done the game, because there's really not much left. There's not much left at all. Now right here, unless you're going for no saves to get that achievement, then, you know, don't save. But save here if you're going to,